Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 60363, Ice Cream Shop from the LEGO City theme. This set contains 296 pieces, 3 minifigures, and retails for $39.99 in the US, as well as $34.99 in most places in Europe. This set was sent to me for review by the LEGO Group through the LEGO Master Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. So here's the main build of the Ice Cream Shop set, of course, the little ice cream shop. And this set's pretty cute. You can see this little seating area out front, as well as a giant ice cream logo at the top, and then of course the building inside has the actual, ice cream shop interior. So let's take a look at everything up a little bit closer. Starting with the seating area out front, I do think this space is a little bit cramped. Now you could very easily move this around with your own parts and move the seating area out. But I don't know, I feel like the chairs and everything are maybe a little bit too close to the door at the entrance to the building. The chairs and table here are in 3 colors. You can see there's blue, orange, as well as purple. And those are the 3 colors used on the logo for this shop, which we'll see in a moment. Right now, though, sitting on the table, there's 2 accessories. These unfortunately are not connected at all, so if you're planning on playing with this set a lot, you'll definitely have to keep track of them. But it's just this little pink drink as well as this present box. This set comes with a child minifigure with a balloon, so I assume they're meant to be celebrating his birthday and this is a gift for him, but of course it's up to your interpretation. And unfortunately, while the gift box does have room for something inside, it does not come with anything inside, so you'd have to put your own gift in there if you wanted to. But now moving on, before taking a look inside the building, let's take a look at the outside. I love how open the ice cream shop is with the windows all throughout, and I love the blue trim around it. This shade of blue is one that LEGO doesn't use all too often. Most recently I remember it on Nia's Water Dragon Evo and Ninjago, so seeing it be featured so prominently in the set helps the set stand out. And I love the sort of rounded edges to the trim of everything. There's a tiny bit of natural terrain on the side right here. You can see there's just some plants in a pot as well as a tiny little bird. This is a printed red bird piece and this is absolutely adorable. I love these guys. They come in a few sets, but every time I see them I just get so happy. They're just so cute. And they're a simple but easy way to just add more life to your LEGO world. I'm really happy this guy's here. This entire section connects in with Technic pins too, and as such is very easy to remove, just to make this entire building easier to connect to a larger LEGO city if you wanted to. The main door at the entrance to the building says the word open on it with a sticker, and then the door handle is this little swirly piece which is actually sometimes used for ice cream, which is a really cool connection, but that of course can be used to open the actual door up. But we're not going to go inside just yet. We still have a bit more to look at on the outside. You can see on one side of the door there's this orange trim, which seems odd looking at it like this because there's no orange trim on the other side, but when you move up it starts to make a little bit more sense because this is actually dripping ice cream from the giant logo at the top. There's of course this giant brick-built ice cream cone at the top of the store and it's dripping this ice cream down, and that's a really nice way to signify in your LEGO city, hey, this is an ice cream store right here. The only thing is, I don't love the design of this. I just feel like there's way too many studs. I wish everything was a bit smoother, especially the actual scoops of ice cream at the top. I don't know, the studs sort of take me out of it. I definitely get what they're going for here, but I feel like it could have been executed just a little bit better. I do like all the slope pieces to represent the dripping though. That's really cool, and I love how it comes down to the bottom. So yeah, I think the sign could definitely be better if it was modified a little bit, but it's a fun idea at least. There's a look at everything from the back. Obviously not the prettiest, but you're not really meant to look at it from the back. And then if you want access into the interior, the build is completely open from the back. However, alternatively, you could just completely remove the roof. It separates in 2 different sections, and that allows you to get just a much better top-down view as well as let light in so you can just see into everything a little bit better. Looking inside, you can see there's a little plant in a pot right by the entrance. I actually really love the design of that. They use these little vine pieces, which I think originate from LEGO Super Mario. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's where they're from. And yeah, they're just stacked on top of each other. They have these little leaves coming off. That genuinely looks great. I'm really happy to see those parts come in other sets. But then we have a huge bit of interior space just to hold customers while they're sitting here waiting for their order. And then here we have the counter where characters can actually come up and place their order. There's a little printed calculator piece right here, which I assume is meant to be a keypad. Then there's a glass windshield with all these different ice cream flavors behind it. You can see there's a green flavor, a bright orange flavor, a purple flavor, and a brown flavor. And 2 of the flavors use the proper ice cream pieces, while the other 2 just use studs. And there is actually a reason behind that. When we look at the minifigures in this set, you'll see the minifigures actually come with the other 2 as ice cream pieces. So if you want to swap out what flavors the minifigures in this set actually have, you can very easily remove those studs, replace them with the proper ice cream pieces, and then put one of the other flavors onto the minifigures cones. Looking inside, here's how everything looks behind the counter. Again, there's a better look at those flavors. There's also a little cone right here. This, I think, is meant to be the ingredients to make the milkshakes, because you have a little mixer stand right here. And of course, we saw the milkshake accessory earlier in the video. Then we have 2 chill cabinets around the sides, which can be opened up. And on the top shelf, there is a carton of milk, which I can only assume is meant to be another milkshake ingredient. And on the bottom shelf, there's actually 2 popsicles, one of which is trans blue, and the other one's a solid nougat, which is the same color that's used for the chairs in the LEGO Lord of the Rings set from this year, because of course they use the popsicle pieces for the backs of the chairs in that set. So it's really cool to get another way to get this color for this part. I'm not sure what flavor that's supposed to be, maybe some sort of chocolate fudge popsicle. But yeah, it's definitely neat. However, I much prefer the transparent blue one. I think it looks a lot cooler. But yeah, speaking of cooler, I will now put these back into the cooler. And I think that's about everything I have to say for the main build of the set. However, of course, that's not everything in this set, because we also have the side builds in the set, the first of which is this little sign for the ice cream place. This is just a stickered part and a very, very simple build, just bricks stacked on top of bricks. But I think it looks good. It's got got the polar bear logo, which matches the minifigure in this set, the ice cream logo, which is the same as the brick built one on the top of the building, and then all these little sprinkles around it just to add a bit more to it. And then the final build in this set is this bicycle, or tricycle? I don't know. It has 3 wheels, but 2 of them are at the front. I don't know the exact term for this. But this is actually a really cool build. I've never seen this before. So it's kind of a standard Lego bike at the back. It's similar, slightly different with how it connects to the front, but you're able to have a minifigure slot in here and actually ride the bike. But then in the front we have a basket for another minifigure, specifically a child minifigure. You can see there's 2 studs in there, so you could very easily just plop the child minifigure that comes in the set in, and then these 2 could just ride on the bike together. That's actually so much fun. I really like this. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it, but it might be one of my favorite parts of the set. This is genuinely quite cool. Oh, and the minifigures do also have alternate helmets instead of their hair pieces if you want, so that way you could be a bit safer riding the bike. But now, speaking of the minifigures, let's take a look at them up a little bit closer. So here are the first 2 minifigures in the set, what I assume is meant to be a father and a son. And these 2 are both just generic LEGO City civilians. However, there's some pretty cool parts here. I really love the torso print on the father with like this purple tank top with the stripes on it. I believe this is all new for this set. I personally don't recognize it, but yeah, I think it's just a really cool design. You could very easily pop those arms off and make it into like a short sleeve shirt too if you wanted to. And I actually think that would look quite good. But in the context of the set, as a tank top, I think it looks great and it goes really well with the teal pants that he has. Of course, no leg printing, but this is just a generic civilian in a LEGO City set, so I don't think that's a huge deal. It makes sense. And I also really like the face print on him. He's got like these red pinkish glasses, a little beard, and slight smile. He just seems like he'd be a fun guy to be around. Fairly good hairpiece on him too, and then if we turn him around and take his hairpiece off, unfortunately no alternate face. But yeah, I think you get everything you need from the front. And then the child minifigure isn't as interesting, but that certainly doesn't make it bad. His torso print has like a vest on, and then the undershirt has a picture of a banana underneath. I actually really like that torso print, however, it's not new for this figure. It has been used in other LEGO City figures before. Still really cool to get. It is a little bit weird that he doesn't have sleeves, because in the past this torso print has been used with sleeves, not with just bare arms. And it's cool that LEGO's like willing to mix that up between the sets. But I don't know, it's very clear to me that this is supposed to be a jacket on top of a t-shirt. So this kid's not covering his arms, but he's got 2 layers on. I don't know, just doesn't work the best in my opinion. Very easy fix, not a big deal. The print's what's important, the print is really good. So I don't know if it really fits the warm summer vibes LEGO's going for with this set. That really isn't a big deal though, just something I wanted to point out. And then yeah, the kid just has the most generic LEGO City kid face. So many different minifigures use that. I mean, it's good for what it wants to be, but nothing all too interesting. He uses the sleepyhead hairpiece of blonde, which is a slightly more uncommon color for that piece. And then taking the hairpiece off, you can see he does have an alternate face where he's just sort of shocked and surprised. I do like that there's 2 faces there, that's nice to see. And then in terms of accessories between these 2, you can see they each have their own ice cream cone, because of course this is an ice cream shop, it makes sense for them to have those. And then the father is also carrying a cell phone piece while the boy has a little balloon. Yeah, as far as generic civilians go, I think these are solid. The father I actually think is really great with the torso and face print, and then the kid I think is just fine. But then the final minifigure in the set is the best minifigure in the set, and that is of course the worker at the ice cream store who's wearing a polar bear outfit. This is so much fun. It seems to just be something LEGO City's doing nowadays, because earlier this year we got the penguin slushy van that came with a penguin mascot character. But yeah, I believe the polar bear mask is all new for this figure. Like the penguin mask was just a recolor of the chicken mask from a minifigure series, but I don't believe we've gotten any bear mask at all before, so I believe this is an all new molded part for this set, which is awesome. That looks great. I don't love costume figures in collectible minifigure series because they just feel like a waste of space, but in LEGO City sets like this, I think that's the perfect place to include them. And yeah, the polar bear face is just so cute. I love it. It's got the tiny little ears, like the black Lego eyes. And then if we remove the polar bear head, you can just see the minifigure head underneath, and you can see the minifigure just has the smiling face, and then she does actually have an alternate face where she's laughing. Torso print is also all new and exclusive for this set. You can see it's got the ice cream shop's logo on it, with that same cone design that we saw on top of the building, and then she's got 2 different colored arms, one orange and one blue. Really fun minifigure all around, one of the highlights of this set. And so, overall, what are my thoughts on the set? I think this set's solid in my opinion. Again, just like a lot of the LEGO City sets this year, the price is really inconsistent depending on where you live. However, it's not nearly as bad as some of the others. The $40 American price definitely seems a bit high. I think something like $30 would have been better, but it's also not the worst price set in the world. So I think when it comes to value, it's entirely up to you whether you see this is worth it. In terms of the quality of the set itself though, price aside, I do think it is pretty solid. I think this is a great addition to any LEGO City. You could very easily slot it in with the rest of your buildings. I love the design of the exterior, and the interior is so full of so many different things, yet also has a ton of room to pose figures. It genuinely feels like a very good representation of real-life ice cream shops, and that makes me like this set quite a lot. My biggest criticism is honestly with the sign at the top. I just feel like the studs are a little bit ugly. I kind of wish it was a bit smoother, but that's not the biggest in the world. I know some people won't mind that, some people will, and if you do mind that, you could very easily customize it because that's what LEGO's for. So while the price does make me hesitant to recommend this set, if you like the idea of a LEGO ice cream shop, I think this is a fairly solid one. So especially if you see it on sale, it might be worth picking up. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of the set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!